Hi, I'm Chuck Zisman, and I love a good adventure in the outdoors. And I also love to ride motorcycles, so when I get a chance to do both at the same time, I take it. The seeds of thought about a motorcycle trip to Alaska were planted a long time ago when I was about 18 years old and proposed the trip to a friend of mine who was all for it. He sold his too small motorcycle in order to buy a larger, more appropriate one, but when push came to shove, his mom wouldn't co-sign, so he bought a stereo instead, and I wasn't about to go to Alaska with him like this, so the trip was off. When I began reimagining this trip in 2015, I imagined a direct route to Dawson Creek, British Columbia, which is the start of the Alaska Highway, and riding the Alaska Highway to Delta Junction, Alaska, which is its terminus, and then perhaps riding up the North Slope Haul Road to the Arctic Circle. Finding myself in possession of a motorcycle up to the task, in 2017 I began planning a trip for the following summer for the ride that had been eluding me for 40 years, the trip to Alaska. A trial cruise was in order, so in the summer of 2017 I did a motorcycle camping trip with a friend down the street, and we spent several days in the Sierra and had a great time, and the motorcycle performed flawlessly. Yes, then it happened. About a month before I was scheduled to leave for my trip, my engine went south, and I needed to repair it, which in this case meant having the entire engine rebuilt and making it a bit more bulletproof and a bit more powerful in the process. Without much time to waste, I took my engine to the best Harley-Davidson engine builder in the Bay Area, and he managed to make my deadline and get my engine back to me just in time to install it, test it, run it, and tune it. With the freshly rebuilt engine installed and tuned, it's finally time to get underway. Here, July 4th, 2018, 5 p.m. or so, and we, meaning this old girl and me, are ready for my long-awaited trip to Alaska. So, yeah, I'll be gone about 30 days. Assuming I make it, and if I don't, that's okay, because it is what it is. Day one was officially underway, but it consisted only of a short ride from Mountain View to Orinda, California, where I spent the evening with my beautiful and supportive lady Julie, our indifferent dog Jackson, Julie's daughter Kristen, her husband Steve, and their daughter Reese. A nice breakfast on my stomach and a few moments alone with this pretty lady, and then it was time to get underway.
Bye, love you. Safe travels.
Just a couple of hours north of Orinda on day two, my motorcycle began making noise that I suspected would probably mean the end of my trip. I managed to limp to Yuba City Harley-Davidson, where the repair technician began assessing the problem. Knowing I'd be in town at least overnight, I took up residence in a local motel and stumbled across these chickens outside the local IHOP. Apparently they're a staple there, and no one really knows why. It turns out that the failure I experienced was becoming commonplace with the S&S 100-inch big bore kit used in rebuilding this engine. The materials used for the cylinder sleeves was apparently causing excessive heat accumulation, resulting in piston failure as seen here. S&S were aware of the problem and would later provide new corrected cylinders and pistons at no cost, but my trip for now was over. Since I didn't have a truck to pull the trailer with and all U-Haul had available was a 15-foot box truck, I loaded up my bike and drove back to the Bay Area, unsure what the future held for my long-awaited adventure. What became clear in the following days was that the 2018 Far North riding season would be over before my bike would be running again. So would this 40-year dream of a long-distance motorcycle adventure ever actually happen? Well, that's a story for another time.